Am I audible and visible? Let me know. Am I audible and visible? Okay, let us start. I myself, Dr. Dipti Kariya. I'm MD, PhD Physiology. I'm Associate Professor and educating MBBS Nursing and Physiotherapy students. I have more than 17 years of teaching experience. Here, in this channel, we will place videos of for first MBBS university exam going students. So if you are university exam going student of first MBBS, this videos will be very useful for you all. Okay? Now let us I'll briefly explain about our subscription. In Plus subscription, you can choose the best from the best. Here you can have access of both live and recorded classes. You can study on the device of your choice. You can learn from India's top educators for your medical exams. You can access the question bank with more than 25,000 questions. You can compete in live tests and quizzes. And within 12 months, we are coming with our printed notes. Okay? Next is iconic subscription. Here your access to the best from two of the best. Which are these two of the best? One I have already discussed, that is Unacademy and Prep Ladder with Unacademy. Second one, that is Unacademy and Prep Ladder with Prep Ladder. Features of this subscription, that is, here you can have clinical and integrated essential. You can have video lectures from the dream team. You can have question bank 3 with active guidance and system tags and much more. You can have rapid revision and snapshots and treasures in 2021 dream notes. So you can subscribe any of them, either plus subscription or iconic subscription. You can use my code DIPTI10 to get 10% additional discount. Now, longer the duration of your subscription, cheaper are the rates. So if you are first or second MBBS students, I suggest you would be having longer subscription. Okay? Now, there is also one announcement that you have your NEET PG Combat, that is on November 28th, tomorrow at 5 p.m. And here you can get a chance to win scholarship up to 100% as well as Amazon vouchers. So here there is a big surprise which awaits for you. That is your NEET PG Combat. Okay? And here you can use my code to enroll for free enrollment. Okay? Again, as I told you, here rank 1 get 100% scholarship, rank 2 to 10 get 75% scholarship, 11 to 50 gets 50% scholarship, and 51 to 200 gets 75% scholarship, as well as top 100 rankers get chance to win Amazon vouchers. Now, here our today's topic is one of the very important topic of blood, that is immunity. It is one of the very tough topic for students. Students may face difficulty in this topic, and sometimes question will be there from this topic. Okay? So now, starting with definition of immunity. So what is immunity? Immunity is our body's ability to resist the organism, either whether it is bacteria or virus or toxic substances. Our body fights against all these pathological agents, and this ability is known as immunity. Okay? It is mainly of two types. One, that is innate immunity or non-specific or natural immunity. Second one, that is acquired or specific or artificial immunity. Okay, we will discuss about both. Now, so first one, that is natural immunity. Natural immunity, what is it? It is available since birth. When we born, we have this immune system. Whereas acquired immunity, that is developed after birth. Acquired means that is developed after exposure to microorganisms. Suppose if we have antigen, our body produces antibody. So this is acquired one. Okay? Natural immunity, it is not specific for particular antigen. Okay? What else? For example, suppose neutrophil, their function is phagocytosis, engulfment, phagocytosis. So they don't know that whether it is virus or bacteria or anything. Their function is just to engulf, phagocytosis. Okay? And here acquired one, that is specific. Why it is specific? You can see here, suppose if you have taken vaccine against COVID, nowadays COVID is common. So if you have taken vaccine against COVID, then you cannot be protected against any other disease. For example, you cannot be protected against typhoid. Why? Because antigen for COVIDs, they enter in our body through vaccine. Our body produces antibodies against it. And these antibodies are only for the particular antigen, not for some other antigen. So this is very, very specific one. Then natural immunity, it responds immediately. Means suppose antigen enters, it is just engulfed immediately. Whereas here it requires time. Why it requires time? Because antigen enters, our body recognizes the antigen and our body produces antibodies. So this is the action mechanism and it requires some time. So this is difference between natural and acquired immunity. Be specific. This is very, very important difference. Students may create confusion in this. Acquired means our body produces antibodies or T lymphocytes. Natural means naturally that is present. Now, so again starting with natural immunity. Natural, other name for the natural is innate. नेचुरल लिखो या इननेट लिखो, सब एक ही है, ठीक है. नेचुरल इम्यूनिटी और इननेट इम्यूनिटी. So this is present since birth. Everybody is having this immunity. Okay? So you can say inborn capacity of body to provide resistance. This is natural. Okay? This is natural. You can see, suppose we have a layer of skin. So this is natural one. We have phagocytic cell. That is natural. And this is not specific. Skin protects us from every microorganism. That is not specific. Okay? And this is depending on the genetic makeup. Suppose somebody is strong by birth, so that is genetic, as well as constitutional makeup also. If person is not taking proper diet, that is constitutional makeup, then immunity is reduced. And it eliminates the organism. It will not allow the organism to enter in our body. So disease can be prevented. We don't have disease, and therefore it is known as first line of defense. Okay? So now, which are these innate immunity mechanisms? Examples of innate immunity. First and foremost, that is mechanical barrier. We have a skin. This is skin and mucous membrane. Like in mouth, we have mucous membrane. Okay? So that is our mechanical barrier which protects our body. Entry of any organism in our body, nothing can enter inside our body because of the layer of skin. Second, secretions. One, that is secretion of sebaceous gland. This sebaceous gland secretion, it contains fatty acids, and these fatty acids, they kill bacteria. Okay? So this way it protects. Saliva also contains antibodies, immunoglobulin, okay? And they also protect against microorganisms. Okay? Gastric juice, our stomach contains gastric juice which is having HCl and enzymes, and this HCl destroys whatever we are eating. Suppose we have eaten something wrong which is having bacteria, so first of all this HCl destroys all the bacteria. So that is first line of defense. Our tears, they also have enzymes, hydrolytic enzymes, lysozyme. Hydrolysis means destruction by hydrolysis. Lysozyme enzyme is there, okay, that destroys microorganisms. Okay? So this is mechanical barrier. Lysozyme is also not only present in tear but also in nasal and salivary secretion, and it is enzyme that kills microorganisms. So these microorganisms are killed, and that is first line of defense. Other is basic polypeptide. Some polypeptides are there having non-specific microbicidal activity. Microbicidal means microorganism. Cidal means death, destruction of all these microorganisms. Okay? Some complements also, complement system we will discuss. They have lytic and other effects. Interferons, they are also present in our body. They also have antiviral substances. Okay. Now, another is cellular defense mechanism. As I told you, we have phagocytosis. Phagocytic cells, which are our phagocytic cells? They are neutrophils and monocytes commonly. Macrophages in tissue also, they act as phagocytic cells. Second are natural killer cells. These natural killer cells, they destroy our foreign cells, foreign bodies, tumor cells and infected cells. They all are killed by natural. And eosinophils, our eosinophils, they have granules. These granules, they contain enzymes as well as toxic substance. And these toxic substances are against larvae of helminth or worms. They are responsible for allergic reaction. So this is about innate immunity. Next one is acquired immunity. Now what is this acquired immunity? Acquired means specific, that is against particular antigen. This is specific immunity. So that is against specific antigen. This is more powerful because for particular antigen we are producing millions of antibodies or T lymphocytes. Okay? This is again of two types, active and passive. Innate is also of active and passive. And other way of classification, that is cell mediated or cellular immunity and humoral immunity. In cellular immunity, T lymphocytes are formed, and in humoral immunity, B lymphocytes, they play an important role. So now, acquired immunity. This is acquired by formation of antibodies or other T lymphocytes. Okay. Now, this acquired immunity is again of two types, active and passive. Active is again of two types, natural and artificial. And passive also natural and artificial. I'll give example of each. First is natural active immunity. What is this natural active immunity? Suppose if you have any disease, you have infection, and your body produces antibodies. So this is an example of natural active acquired immunity. This one. Okay. Artificial active acquired immunity. Here the example is vaccination. So very important thing is here, what is active and passive? Active means we are actively participating. For example, suppose if I am doing question answer, then you are participating. But if I am teaching, that is passive. So here active means the person's immune system is participating. Then suppose I have antigen and my body produces antibodies. So that is active. My body is working actively. So that is active. Okay, and passive means I am giving antibodies directly. My immune system has nothing to do. Okay, so now you can see here. So this is the example of natural active we have discussed. Now artificial active immunity, that is here we are giving antigen in the form of vaccine. So vaccine contains dead antigen. This antigen cannot have side effect on we people. Sometimes it may have, but not lethal. And our body produces antibodies. So this is artificial active acquired immunity. Then natural passive acquired immunity. Natural passive means we are giving directly antibodies. Now, when it is natural antibodies are given from mother to baby. Through placenta, IgG antibodies enter. Okay? And through breast milk, IgA antibodies enter. So placenta transfer IgG and breast milk transfer IgA antibody. So that is natural passive. Last one is artificial passive immunity. Here, acquired immunity. Here we are giving directly antibody. Suppose some patient is of HIV. immunodeficiency is there, the patient cannot produce antibody. So what we are giving is, we are directly giving antibody. We cannot give antigen to produce antibody. Okay, so this is different types of immune. Okay, active and passive we have discussed. Now, so what is the difference between these two? Here in active immunity, our body produces antibodies. We are giving antigen. Okay? And in passive immunity, we are giving antibodies directly. Okay? Here, negative phase is there. Negative phase means what happens? Suppose if we are giving antigen, initially antibody level decreases, then it increases. So this is negative phase. Here it is not there. Negative phase is not there because antibodies are directly given, so their level increases. Here latent period is there. Some time is required to produce antibody. Here there is no latent period. Okay. Then secondary response. Secondary response means when suppose same antigen enters in our body for the second time. This is true for vaccine. Suppose if you have taken COVID vaccine, so what happens? Your body, you are entering antigen in your body. So your body produces antibody. So actually when this COVID antigen enters, first time your body produces this many antibodies. Second time it produces this many antibodies. So you can say that secondary response is enhanced. Large number of antibodies are produced. Here it is absent. It lasts for long period of time. And here it lasts for short period of time. This is more effective because our body participates. Here it is less effective. Okay? It can not be given for immunocompromised individual like HIV. Here it is given. Okay? Now, next is antigen. What is antigen? Antigen is a substance which produces immune reaction, specific immune reaction in the body. That is antigen. You can write down also if you wish. Structure is mainly, these are proteins. They are bound with carbohydrates, with lipids, with nucleic acid. Okay, so conjugated proteins are there. And they have specific areas. You can see here, this our antigen is having specific areas for binding with antibody. And these sites, they are known as epitopes. EPI, epitope. Okay. Now, for a substance to be antigenic, the substance must have a molecular weight of 8,000 molecular weight or greater than 8,000. Okay, so this is one criteria. Okay. Second, this process of antigenicity depends on regularly recurring this molecular groups, epitope we have, as we have discussed, epitopes. Okay. So you can say that if the protein is large, it is more antigenic because it has more areas. This suppose this is one epitope. Okay, if the protein is large, so it has 5 epitopes. If the protein is small, it has only one epitope. So this is more antigenic than this one. Okay, so this is also important thing. And it produces immunity. So this property is known as immunogenicity. Second property is antigen specificity. Antigen specificity means our body produces antibodies which are specific for antigen. Sometimes there is species specific, means these antibodies are produced by the antigen in particular species. And isospecificity means they are same in two different individuals. Now, one of the very important topic and very confusing one also, HLA, histocompatibility antigens. Okay, so now this, what is this HLA? The name itself suggests antigens. They are present on the plasma membrane of cell, that is HLA. And for that we have a gene. This gene, that is MHC, major histocompatibility complex. It is located on chromosome number 6. And HLA also known as human leukocyte antigen. They are present on the surface of leukocytes. Okay? So you can see here, these are MHC. This one. MHC are three types, MHC class 1, 2 and 3. No two persons except identical twins having same MHC proteins. You can see the structure is different in each and every one. Okay? So MHC means these are the group of molecules present on the short arm of chromosome number 6. And HNA antigen, that is group of genes which are present on MHC. Okay? MHC as such, these are the molecules you can see here present on the cell. This one. Sorry, I'll show you. This one. Here you can see. This are MHC. Okay? They are present on the cell. But their gene is present on the chromosome. Name for that gene is also MHC. Okay? So don't get confused. Now, types of MHC molecule, as I told you, 1, 2 and 3. Common are 1 and 2. Now type 1, that is present on all the cells of body. Whereas type 2 is present on B cells and macrophages. Okay? And type 1 cells, these cells, what they do is they bind with the antigen. This you can see here, suppose this is the cell having MHC1. Okay? So this binds with the antigen and present this antigen to cytotoxic T. Clear? This is to the cytotoxic T cell. Easily you can remember one we can have O. So this is C, cytotoxic. Type 2, you can see here, suppose we have this cell. Which cells having type 2? B cells and macrophage. This is MHC type 2. Okay? That is present only on this two, B cells and macrophage. And it binds with antigen. This is antigen. And present this antigen to helper T cell. Helper also you can easily remember, this is 2. 2 into we are making 2 lines. And this is helper. So this way you can remember. Now, another thing is antigens. They are of again two types. One is autoantigen and second foreign antigen. Autoantigen means self antigen, like blood group antigen. Antigens are present in our body. And foreign means they enter from outside, like they are the receptors present on the cell membrane. Suppose bacteria cell membrane is having proteins, so they act as antigen. Certain toxins are there, certain transplant tissues, allergic substance. So these all are foreign substances, not from our body, but they produce antigenic action. And next is we have this antigen, and second thing is allergen. Now what is the difference between antigen and allergen? Antigen means the substance which produce immunity, or they produce antibody in all the individual. That is antigen. Suppose some bacteria enters in any of us, it produces antibodies in our body. But suppose allergen enters, suppose you can say that I have allergy with something. So this allergen produces antibodies in me only, not in all. So allergen is the antigen that produces allergic reaction in few people only. That is allergen. Chemical nature, we have already discussed. They are conjugated proteins like lipoproteins, glycoproteins, nucleoproteins, etc. Okay? So this is about your immunity and something about the antigens we have discussed. Tomorrow we will discuss about antibodies, cell mediated humoral immunity, complement system, alternative pathway. These all are very important topics. Okay, so stay connected with us. If you like the video, you can like it, share, as well as you can subscribe our channel. Okay? Thank you.